and welcome to my channel. It has been a hot minute. I have not made a video. I've edited since then, but I haven't made a video since the last day of semester at sea, which was 4 months ago. But we're gonna do a semester at sea Q&A. I asked some questions, or I asked 4 questions on my Instagram, and honestly it was like just putting it out there. I was like, if anyone wants to know anything, I'll do it. But I actually got some people wondering things about it, so I thought I would do that. I have all of them written out on note cards in my answer, but I might just look at my phone. I was just being ridiculously a little bit over prepared there. There's not that many, but there's a good handful, so I thought I would just answer those and also kind of talk about what has happened since semester C, because I feel like a lot of people don't talk about the after. I know for my school we had a prep session for all study abroad, not just semester at sea, at my home college, and they said you can have culture shock when you go overseas, but you can also have it when you come back, and I was like, that's weird. But I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of crazy coming back and going back to normal life as if nothing happened. I'll talk a little bit about that at the end after I answer these questions. So let's get on into it. Alright, starting off with the first question, it is, did you have any feeling of missing out back at school? This is a good question because I feel like nobody talks about this, and it's all about semester at sea, what is it, what do you do, all that stuff. But this is actually a really good question. So I would say yes and no. I think obviously it depends on the person. I'm only speaking to my experience. I'm only speaking to how I felt. Everyone feels different. In my personal opinion, yes and no. I felt like it was kind of weird and an out-of-body experience. My life almost froze in a different way. And then at college, whatever, everyone was living their life as normal. And that was almost weird to see because I wasn't there living it like I normally have been for the past 3 years. But I will say, no, I didn't feel left out sometimes because on the ship, well, first of all, semester at sea, your life is moving so fast. And you don't I don't even think I can tell you how much your life moves so fast without you experiencing it. So I just think you just never stop for 4 months. It's kind of crazy. But the no, I would say, is because you don't have service. If you were not looking at social media, you would kind of, that sounds mean, you would kind of forget about back home. And I missed people, obviously. I don't know if this is making sense. I missed people, but it was you also had a second life going, and that's where a lot of your attention went to. I say social media was definitely my downfall, mentally, in all regard. Other than that, yeah, I felt missed out, I was missing out, but I was also making so many new memories that with so many new people that were all experiencing this thing for the first time. So that was not a clear-cut answer, but for the most part, yes and no. Alright, the next question is, did you forget anything? I don't think I forgot anything. I packed you should look at my packing video, I'll card it wherever it is, but I packed very strategically. Well, my mom made me pack very strategically. I would say what I wish I brought were slippers. I wish I brought slippers for the ship because I got some crappy slippers in Greece, which is our first port, and those things were flipping and flying everywhere when I was walking, so I didn't even wear them. And then more sweatpants. I think I'm talking about this later, but it's coming up in a second. I brought shorts. In my head, because I was watching, of course, Gracie O'Connor and all those people. Obviously, I thought about my voyage is going to be cold because we're going to Europe in in winter. I didn't think about how on the ship there's a lot of walking outside that you have to do to get places. Sure, you can make it manage while only being inside, but I don't know, there was a lot more walking outside that I didn't think about. Our voyage snowed, so I would definitely say bring more sweatpants. Just think about the ship also in how cold it's gonna be. Alright, so the next question is, were there things you wish you just bought when you got to country? This is actually a really good question because I feel like not many people in their semester C videos talk about this when they're packing, but I would say for me, I mean, it's where you're going, it's where your first port is gonna be. It's where you're getting on the ship if you want to buy them then, if you want to wait until you get off the ship for the first time. But I would say I personally liked bringing my own products, and I liked it at the end when I had more room. So I would say if you are gonna wait to buy your stuff, be very conscious of where you're going and where you want to buy it. So I went to Italy first. That's where we got on the ship. So I had I think we got on the ship on the 5th or 6th of January, and I left my house on the 1st. If you want to accommodate for travel size stuff all the way until you get on the ship or until you get to that first place before you get on the ship, I don't know if this is making sense. That kind of sounds confusing. Then you get on the ship and then you have like 5 more days before your first port. So you just have to think about like how long you want your travel size to last before you're going to get to a port, before you're going to bring more back on. But yeah, I think it's just less stress if you bring it with you and then you have more room in the end, and then you're not stressing about trying to read foreign languages. And so yeah, just be conscious about the weird things that you could get in port, and it's not going to be all like you're used to. Next question is, what did you realistically wear? So I kind of talked about this, but on the ship, nobody dresses up. My homeschool, we all dress up. Like my college, we all, like that's a thing at my school, is everyone wears like dresses to class and skirts and nice clothes and yada yada. On that ship, nobody wears nice clothes. We all go into port and we wear nice things, but on that ship, you're wearing like sweatpants, t-shirts, sweatshirts. I rarely saw people dress up. So in port, it's just gonna depend where you are. I wore a lot of, I think I had like three sweaters like on rotation. And 3 sounds like not that many, but you're only in port for like 3 to 4 days. So like nobody's gonna care if you rewear the same thing. We're all re-wearing stuff. I had like sweaters on rotation during the really cold ports and days, and then I had a lot of long sleeves to layer or to just wear if it was warmer. I always had my trench coat and I always had my puffer. I would usually decide, depending on where I was, if it was gonna be warmer or colder. Even sometimes it was so cold that I would wear, I don't remember, I think Denmark was freezing. That's what it was. Denmark was like brutal. And Athens, Greece. That was brutal too. And I literally wore leggings underneath my pants. So it was cold. Realistically bring good walking shoes. Oh my gosh. I can't even stress that enough. And I know like your parents say it when you go on trips and you do walking and whatever, but like bring good shoes and bring good socks. Like you do not want to be getting blisters in this situation. You only have 3 days. Like, don't make it miserable. Next question is, are classes super hard? No. Did I do the best in these classes? Absolutely not. It's more just about finding the motivation to do these classes. None of them are hard. Like, I think global studies, someone's gonna come for me at this. Global studies was my hardest class and my lowest grade I've ever gotten in my entire life. I would say they're not hard, but if you put in the work. And a lot of people don't. I would say no, they're not hard, but if you put in the work, if you put in the time, the effort, which not many people do. More like the studying and the tests and everything that I just didn't really care too much about, but I just wasn't there for the education. I hate to break it. Someone's gonna come for me, my mom, my school, anything is gonna come for me at this point. All right, the next question is, how much can you get realistically in scholarship for SAS? I would say this question, I don't know who would be the best one to answer it. It is based so much on how much money you can get on your demographic. I did as many scholarship opportunities as I could, but even then there weren't that many that I could do because I just didn't fit into the box of how much you can get. But I know a lot of people's schools gave them a lot of money. I don't think I got that much, but I got more than I honestly thought I was going to. I would say look into your school, your homeschool, and into SAS, fill out as many as you can, see what you can get. It just depends so much on your demographic and your home college and what they'll give you as well. So. The next question is, do people just wear sweats while at sea? I kind of said this before, but yes, like sweats at sea, nobody's dressing up, nobody cares to dress up. The only time you dress up on that boat is for alumni ball and fancy dinner. And that's about it. Nobody wears anything nice. We all see each other in port. We all know that each other can look nice, but we are not caring about looking nice on that boat. Also, this shadow is kind of creepy. I don't know why it's like that. The next question is, how do you start to work SAS into a lab-heavy major? I don't have the best idea of this because I'm a psych major and a criminal justice minor, and I go to a liberal arts college. So I took 2 psych classes that transferred, which was nice. You do all the class transferring with your homeschool, your home college. I keep saying homeschool, that's like an actual thing. Home college before you go. So I got everything checked off before we even had class registration for SAS, made sure everything was going to transfer. But I also took like a nutrition class, and that works for my school because it's a liberal arts college, so it counted to something random in there, some credits somewhere. I think with lab heavy majors, once again, don't quote me, I think the only way you would be able to do it is if you could take a semester off. Like obviously you can have something transfer, but there aren't, in my knowledge, I don't think there are any like Like there's no like nursing classes or anything like that. I don't know if you could graduate in 4 years if you did that. I don't know. I think that gets really hard with labs and that stuff because you obviously don't do labs on the ship. That's a little dangerous. All right, the next question is, did you have any or what were your doubts before going? I would say my doubts fell a lot in with the whole COVID situation. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about the whole COVID situation, all of our itinerary changes, all the things that we had to do because of COVID on the ship, but in my opinion, I'm not calling anyone out from 129, but in my opinion, we all signed up to do it and we all ended up going on it. And sure, it wasn't exactly what we thought it was going to be even before we went, but it's what we signed up to do, and we were the first voyage that actually, like, we made it all the way through after COVID, and that's so sick that we got to do that and we actually got to make it through. I think my biggest doubt was, like, are we gonna get sent home? I would say that was a huge doubt and a huge fear of mine, and if it was gonna be worth it. I think a big doubt of mine as well was because our voyage was not what we thought originally. We were all aware that it was gonna be this European Mediterranean trip, but back in the day when we all signed up, we kind of thought it was going to be the Asia trip that they usually do. But I've been to a good amount of Europe and I saw different places, I saw different things, I did different things, but in general, in my mind, I was thinking, is this worth it of a trip to go places I've already been? I think another big doubt, I sound like I had a lot of doubts. I really didn't have that. I mean, I was nervous, but like, I wasn't. The big doubt was going back to that first question is like, everyone's life is going to continue. And that kind of is a scary thing to think about because then you think about like, will anyone miss you? And like things like that. Like everyone's just going to continue their life and you're going to go off and you're going to kind of drop off the grid for a bit and then you're going to come back. And I can't speak to that because I'm going back in 3 days. So we'll see how it is. I stopped recording. It's still blinking. Download your books ebooks and then put them on a flash drive. Don't take up room in your suitcase for those big old books. That's so not smart. All right, guys. Well, my camera's going to die and I was going to talk about life after, but I don't know if that's interesting enough. Life after is kind of weird. You come back and then you kind of go back to normal life and you're like, wait, was that a fever dream? Like, did that actually happen? My biggest thing for when you come back is give yourself time. Give yourself time to like decompress. I started an internship 3 days after I got back. That was a little bit ambitious. It also helped me because sitting around was not going to do me any favor. Yeah, take time for yourself. You have your own space again. Just relax with that. I definitely needed my own space after having a roommate in that small tiny ship. Alright guys, well that is all I have for today. I hope those questions were possibly something that you might have had too and my answers were useful even though I was kind of all over the place, but haven't made a video in a while. Let me know down below what you guys want to see from this year. I'm going into my senior year of college, my first full year of college actually, because I've never had a full year with COVID on campus. So I'm excited. I'm living in a dorm as a senior. I know, controversial. It'll be fun. I'm excited. I'm moving in Sunday. It's Thursday now, so that's coming up. I think I'm gonna vlog it. I'm not sure. Still debating on that. Let me know down below what you guys want to see from this year, from this school year, this semester, this year, whatever you want to call it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.